Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon or Rising. And Capricorn, this is your weekly intuitive tarot reading for April 6th to the 12th. This week we have the Imrama Oracle card. We have the Four of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, King of Swords, Two of Wands, the beautiful World Energy, and the Knight of Cups. So, interesting reading here. I really feel that some of you, probably from this kind of lockdown or self-isolation time, are really reflecting deeply on your life and what's meaning for you, where you've been putting your time and energy. And I think you are, getting to a place of clarity, of realization that some things need to end, some things need to change. And that's going to have you at a crossroads, I feel. But with that King of Swords, I feel like the clarity is going to come quite soon of how to move forward. There's going to be some kind of insight or breakthrough. And we have some really beautiful new energy coming in with the Knight of Cups. So this could be in relationships for some of you, but not limited to that. So we'll start off with the Imrama Oracle card, because this talks about being called to journey somewhere else, being called to journey somewhere that's more meaningful, maybe being called home. When I say that, I mean being called home to what fulfills the heart, to reconnect with the higher self, because that's where the truth lies of what we really want in our lives and what will really fulfill us. So let's start off with that, guys, and we'll go to the tarot. Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? The Celtic word Imrama means a journey of the soul, a voyage on which we don't know where we're going, but our soul knows the way. If you pulled this card, you are either being called on a soul journey or are already on one. It could be to a physical ancient place or metaphoric. When we journey to places that our soul remembers, a shift takes place both within us and to the planet as well. You're being called to journey to a place that is sacred to your soul. Perhaps it is a journey to the world's sacred sites, or called to cross the country, climb a mountain, lie on the desert floor, or drink from an ancient well. There are places to see and old friends to meet. I see spontaneous pilgrimages in your future. Likely to be more of a metaphorical journey right now, Capricorn, because as we know, we can't go anywhere at the moment. But I really see that is the journey. This is a journey of turning inwards, a journey of reflection, a journey of questioning where we've put our time and energy in the past, and is that delivering to us the returns that we'd hoped. So with the Four of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles, the Four of Swords says to me that, we are in a moment of pause, of rest, of reflection at the moment. And for the majority of us, this has been at the forced hand. A lot of us have had to stay home from work. In some countries, we're on full lockdown where we pretty much can't go outdoors. So a lot of people have time on their hands. Some people, myself excluded, spend a lot of their time, really, really busy and really, really on the move. And, that's fine. Some people really enjoy that kind of level of, stimulation and energy in their life. However, if it goes a little bit too far, we can end up distracting ourselves. And some people are lost in the distractions. Too much social media, too much socializing, drinking, partying, sex, all of these things. And when we are really consumed by that, we don't hear the soul's voice. We don't hear our higher self or spirit talking to us about what we truly need to do in our lives to live a fulfilling life. And with this time that we're having out, and a lot of people are isolated in their homes, those voices are actually going to be able to be heard. Maybe for some people for the first time in a really long time. And you might be surprised what those voices say to you. Some of you might have thought that you were fulfilled with that other life, whereas now, you're realizing that, no, it wasn't that all along. And it seems meaningless now that you're faced with a global crisis where, we're separated from friends and family and all these things. We're really going through a big stage of reassessment, reassessing our lives. So I really see that. The Seven of Pentacles is about the fact that you've, put a lot of time, effort and energy into pursuing a certain path, and yet it's given you a certain amount of success. Here we see Pentacles energy, so it could be about, financial or material success. But, you're feeling disappointed or apathetic, or you're feeling like, it's just not the kind of return that you wanted. I feel that maybe some of you have spent a lot of time building your career, building financial resources, but maybe you've done so at the sacrifice of true emotional fulfillment, of cups energy. Maybe you've blocked people coming in, blocked romantic relationships unconsciously or subconsciously by having your energy very tied up in other things. That's what I see here. And this is about you taking that pause, and whether you know it or not, what's really happening here is that a new battle plan for your life is being formulated. That's why we have this one sword under here. It's kind of like there's this new beginning that's kind of under the surface, and that's being uncovered through this process. Because we have the King of Swords here, and the King of Swords is the clarity that's going to come to you while you're going through this period of reflection. The King of Swords, he sits on this cliff top here, and he has this 360-degree view, and that's kind of a metaphor for now being able to see the bigger picture. And from that place, because you're having that time out and you're having the time and space to reflect, that's when you can make those strategic decisions on how to move forward in your life. Because I think some of you are really going to feel like you're at a crossroads here with that Two of Wands. The Two of Wands can be a life review card. Some of you might be looking back and, really reviewing all of your life, the decisions you've made, how you've ended up where you are. If any of you have watched the Steve Jobs Stanford University speech, which I really love, he talks about hindsight, and he says that it's only, when we get a certain way down the path that we can look back and join the dots and see where we're being led. So some of you might be going through that process and understanding that we can, in a certain way, orchestrate, a new future for ourselves now by making, strategic decisions, cutting ourselves free of any energetic cords and ties that no longer serve, and putting new intentions in place for our lives. And that process is going to be liberating. It's going to be transformative. That's why we have the butterfly icon on the King of Swords throne here. And you're being called to evoke the King of Swords, which is an energy of being, direct, clear, mature, authoritarian where you need to. Also being very clear in your communication as well. Maybe there's going to be some communication that needs to happen in order to leave behind something from the past and move forward on this journey. So the Two of Wands shows somebody who is, reflecting on the past, but also considering a future direction here. And he's doing so from the comfort zone of his own home, which is what you might be doing this week. But he knows that in order to pursue this future direction, he or she is going to need to leave the comfort zone. So you're really being called, what are you willing to do in order to change your reality? Are you ready to maybe leave behind what you've known, everything you've known up till now, in order to get to somewhere that might be far greater, that might be Imrama? Because you are being called to journey, and I feel like if you ignore the call of the soul, then it will only recur even louder somewhere down the track. And just understanding that you have the world at your feet, you have all the opportunities, maybe not, physical movement opportunities at the moment with what we're going through, but, that is going to change. And, the world here, it says that a certain cycle in your life is complete, and I think it's this cycle here that you've got to and realize it's been unfulfilling for you. So the world is saying, it's time for you now to jump through that Saturnian hoop into a whole new chapter of your life. You've learnt the lessons of this, maybe learnt the lesson of over-investing in career and making money and that sort of thing. Maybe it's now time to enter a chapter where we are getting ready to receive love. We're focusing on the more subtle realms and the softer energies of life, emotional fulfillment, joy, love, happiness and harmony. That's what the world says. It's the last card of the tarot deck that says we've arrived at a completion or an ending, and it is about victory. The King of Swords is also about victory. So it's saying that when we close a chapter or leave things behind, when it's the right divine timing, that is when we're truly victorious. It's when we decide to go, oh, hang on a minute, I might just go with this wand here of the past. I might just, no, I'm not going to go for the future. I'm going to stay in the comfort zone and stay with this one. That's when we kind of get stuck, is what I'm seeing here, because we kind of stay in that karmic cycle, which is ready to complete. So the world, big endings and new beginnings, very destined there with that energy. And what is coming, Capricorn? Well, kind of unexpected when I saw the Knight of Cups here. And I asked for a clarifier, and I got the Ace of Swords. This has been brewing for a while. We've got the Ace of Swords here. We've got the King of Swords with the Ace of Swords here, and then we've got the Ace of Swords. This is a new beginning that's going to be emotionally fulfilling. It absolutely could be love, could be self-love, it can be family and friendship love, could also be some beautiful partner coming in who's very, very attracted to, very charismatic, all of the good stuff. But also it's just about this huge realization again. It's a theme we have in this reading, that in order to be truly victorious in your life, we need a balance. We need a balance of the material stuff. We need a balance of the love stuff. And this is a big breakthrough, having this realization. And it's through that big shift in our energy that often, we put ourselves in a place to receive this kind of energy and recognize it when it comes in. Because I feel like in the past, maybe you were very over-invested in something that was kind of holding space for you. So there wasn't the chance for this kind of new beginning to happen. Again, the sense of victory and recrowning yourself, because this knowledge, this insight that you're getting this week is truly going to be powerful for you, because I think it's going to change the course of your life, because you're opening up to love now. And I would be very surprised if love doesn't escalate for you in the near future. And for those of you that are already partnered, it can be a deepening of love, or it can be an emotional offer and something else that's going to fulfill you. So it can link to work, but shifting your work into something that really lights you up, is full of passion and purpose, and doesn't make you feel, apathetic or hard done by anymore. So I love this reading, Capricorn. It's so powerful, so positive, and so clear. So just enjoy the insights that come in this week, because you are being called to journey somewhere that's far more fulfilling for you. Okay, Capricorn, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Do keep in mind it's a general reading, so it won't be for every one of you. Feel free to leave me a comment. Always love to know how it's playing out in your daily life. And I'll see you back here next week for another reading.